Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in absolutely lovely, beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Hope you're enjoying this video I took up in Tennessee last week. Unfortunately, the live cam is not visible at nighttime, the one that I usually use to start my show out. So I hope you're enjoying this lovely vid right here. I am for certain, and I'm sure Marcelo is as well. Anyways, let's move along to what's happening out there. And what the hell is that? Well, we are living in effing clown world, folks. Our whole voting system, no matter who you voted for, is all screwed up. And I've always said that. We don't pick presidents. They pick them for us. They just kind of give us the illusion of choice. And I don't think I'm the first one who said that, and I'm sure that's not original, but it's the absolute truth. Well, anyway, here we are living in clown world, just watching the world burn, and that's exactly the way I feel with it, and I'm sure a lot of people out there do too, on both sides. Hey, listen, I want to give heads up to nothing to do with precious metals or anything, but I love this guy, and I've been deviating a little bit into politics because politics does have something to do with the price of gold, silver, and precious metals, and economies and markets, and where precious metals may be one day. So, I mean, if we're looking at a clown world right now that's going up in flames, that's good for gold, silver, and platinum. And I don't mean to sound like an opportunist, but you kind of see where I'm going with this. So politics is an important part of our discussion here, and I'll try to stay as unbiased as I can to either side because I know it's a very contentious subject. But anyways, love this guy right here, Awaken with JP. He has some videos he's been doing why the lockdown should last longer, and the guy really does kind of come from a spiritually and kind of a cool, unbiased place. Not only that, he's a comedian, so he's really funny. If you haven't seen JP's videos, Awaken with JP on YouTube, make sure you watch them because they are really funny and really good, and he has a huge subscriber list. I'll move along from there. Again, you know, what does comedy have to do with gold and silver and platinum? Well, I guess every once in a while you got to be able to laugh at this stuff too, as well. Anyways, move along to what I see here. Well, basically, same old shit, different day. And that's kind of like right before the election up until today, other than that big up week we saw, about a week and a half ago, when gold was about 1940, 1950 or something like that. And if you remember, I was talking about it, that had nothing to do with, I think, elections or anything like that. It had to do with that the Chinese nixing Jack Ma's IPO, and that money had to go somewhere. And again, if you've been following my reports, you'll know that that's a little tidbit that I got from someone that's in the precious metals markets. Again, rumor, but when you get good tips from people that are really high up in the, in this industry, you listen to them. So anyway, what do we got going on? Same old shit, different day. More or less, we're up a little bit from where we were, and let's take a look at markets here real quick. Currently, looks like New York closed at 1872. Silver closed at 24.75, and platinum a little bit higher there. But still, like in that 1850 range and that $23 to $25 range for silver, and platinum in that 850 to 900 range. So metals have been range bound for like a month, 2 months, couple months now. It seems like they've made a little bit of run ups, but they kind of been staying in that range. It was interesting to see that today's close, that the world spot prices closed a little bit higher. Look at that, 1890. So, that kick in the ass we got earlier in the week and last week really didn't last too long. We're getting back up to where we were. Silver too, very impressive, 24.70. I was surprised at the strength we saw in silver this week. Gold was acting a little bit weaker in my opinion and a little more volatile, which is very strange. It's usually the opposite. Silver is usually the more volatile one. And as far as platinum, platinum made a nice little climb up too on the close, but platinum's done well. And again, a steady climb, nothing erratic like silver typically does, and like gold kind of did this week. Gold was more erratic than normal. My guess for Monday, you know what? In several months that I've been doing these shows and all the years I've been doing this, this last month has been the most difficult for me to kind of take a guess for. And I guess I can make a lot of excuses, different things, where the market is, the stock market is, the elections in particular. But really, I don't know if I'm off or what, but I'm usually pretty much always right. And I shouldn't say always right, but I've been pretty much nailing markets for the following day on weekends for the most part. But it's been a little sketchy. I've been kind of figuring where the market's going to go, and you know why it's pretty easy, because we are in a bull market. So I can always eventually say it's going to be at par value or it's going to be slightly higher, because eventually at some point that week or next week it will be. Again, because we are in a bull market, even though it may not look like one, we are in a kind of slow boiling bull market in precious metals, not unlike the market we had prior to the last bull market we had. The last bull market in 2012 and in 2012, it really was a 10-year market. It kind of just like slow boil market, and that's exactly where we are with precious metals right now, in my opinion. We're kind of in a slow boil. We're not even close to that bubble territory yet. Anyways, I hate to be making these calls, next day calls, or in this case, it's going to be a Monday call, but I suspect that with the world spot prices up a little bit, like 1890 and silver around 2470, that we're going to see this level and higher. Gosh, I sound like a broken record. But unless we see some anomalies in dollar strength or a complete stock market collapse or something like that, I don't think we're going to see big down prices. Well, a dollar strength would only cause small decline in the price of precious metals, gold and silver and platinum. And it would only be temporary, because, again, I don't think there's any such thing as long-term dollar strength. It's when I say short-term, it's usually a day or two or a week or something. But the overall trend for the dollar is down, 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 down. It isn't a long-term trend bear market, that's for sure. The dollar is, and it's never going to recover the way they're printing. So that is very positive for precious metals, gold, silver, and platinum and stuff. And I was going to move on to a few other things, again, talking about politics, talking about current events that apply to this. Biden appears to backpedal a mask pledge from a mandate to in urging. So this is kind of like really odd that Biden now feels like he's going to win, and that it's okay to open up economies and not make people close and not make people wear masks. Kind of odd. But anyways, I found that odd. But you know what? If Biden does win, if Biden does end up winning, and there's no telling what's going to happen. There really isn't. There's even though there were some setbacks in the courts today, I think everyone knows, even if you voted for Biden or Biden supporter, because think about this. Anyone that doesn't think that the DNC cheats, just ask a Bernie Sanders supporter. They'll tell you that, yeah, they cheat. So I do believe that the DNC and Biden cheated. So we'll see how much they cheated and how much they got away with and how much they're going to get caught for. Well, that's going to determine the election, in my opinion. But anyway, this was kind of interesting to see Biden backpedal. And why not? He's a politician. He's going to backpedal. I think they know exactly what the masks and the closures were. It was an economic weapon to take Trump out. And listen, I didn't vote for Trump either. So don't start accusing me as being a Trump apologist or whatever you may. I didn't vote for Biden, but didn't vote for either one of the men. So I'm kind of more biased in this. I don't have a dog in this fight like most people do. So in my opinion, this was just an economic attack on Trump to kill the economy. Because remember that old saying, it's the economy, stupid. Well, there's one thing that there's been a fact. Presidents have never, incumbent presidents have only twice in history ever been reelected during a recession. And listen, we are in a recession. Don't make any mistake about it. We're not in the greatest form we can be right now. So we are in a recession, despite what Trump and despite what some people may say, because the stock market is so good. We are in a recession for a fact. And Trump was not going to win in that environment. George W. Bush did not win in the environment. Remember his 1,000 points of light? Remember again, James Carville saying it's the economy, stupid? Well, that's exactly what this was. This virus, not the virus, the closures killed the economy, which killed Trump's chances for re-election, or at least seemingly. Let's see what happens in the courts. And again, I have no dog in this fight, but it sure fucks everything up, from precious metals to markets to people's perceptions on honesty in elections. Anyway, interesting thing about the COVID today, Elon Musk, the world's one of the world's richest men. I wonder if he's got a stack of gold and silver somewhere. Hey, can anyone tweet to Elon Musk, ask him if he's got a stack, if he's a stacker? I'm sure the guy's got some gold and silver bars somewhere, and I bet you it's probably pretty damn impressive as well. Anyway, Elon Musk says he may have COVID, calls antigen tests extremely bogus, and I found this interesting because, you know, the world's richest man, he can take all the tests he wants. He just tweeted out to his followers that COVID tests are being counted daily in the United States, and that he took 4 tests, 2 proved negative, 2 were positive. So you know what? When they give us these figures on national, COVID tests, when Elon Musk takes 4 tests in one day and 2 are negative and 2 are positive, what does that say about the efficiency and the accuracy of this test? Absolutely nothing. This is bad data, folks. They are running the country on bad data, based on bad tests, poor information, and again, the virus hasn't hurt this country at all. It's killed a small amount of people, and that's super sad. But the virus hasn't hurt nothing at all. The restrictions, the mandates, the laws, the closures of small business. That's what killed the economy, not the virus. And don't let them fool you or tell you otherwise. It was the politicians and the elite that created this mess by their boneheaded decisions to close. And maybe, again, I'm not going to go conspiratorial on you, and I'm going to move along here, but Elon Musk doesn't lie. And if the man said he took 4 tests in one day, 2 were negative and 2 were positive, that tells you that the data's bad, in my opinion. Ooh, sad day too. Oh my gosh, sad day for me. I canceled my Wall Street Journal subscription. I spent $400 and something a year, I don't know, for 15 years or more. I don't even know how long I've been subscribed. Long-term subscriber, even the guy that I called up to cancel with. By the way, you can't cancel online. You actually have to call him. That's kind of weird. But the guy in the line says, "Oh man, you've been a long time customer. What's up, man?" I said, "You know what? I just can't stand the political bias that I see in the Wall Street Journal. It's just kind of awful. Media doesn't pick presidents, and Wall Street Journal should really kind of try to be in the most unbiased position they can, not one side or the other." And it's funny too. The guy said, "You know what?" He says, "We've had a large amount of cancellations that have said the same thing you just said." I thought that was kind of interesting, but maybe it's true. I'm looking at this and look, really, face legal setbacks. Trump cries voter fraud. You can't help, and again, I didn't vote for either one of these guys, but I can't help feel that Trump got screwed and Trump supporters got screwed in this election. And I don't blame the Biden supporters because they, a lot of them honestly believe this is an honest institution. But if you really think about it, these DC people suck, man. They cheat. And that's just my opinion. And me saying that will probably get this video tucked down to very few views. Not that I have a lot to start with. Anyways, here is one of the truisms that I discovered in my life. In 2008, I stopped watching all corporate news. Honest to God, 2008, because I started to realize how influential they were or tried to be, and how much they suck. I'm sorry, but corporate media sucks. They're owned by a handful of people that try to spin a narrative and stick it down your throats. I don't care what side you're on, left or right. They're not your friends, folks. Major corporate media is not your friends. Neither are the social medias. Neither are the alphabets. Neither is Google. And again, I'm sure this is not going to be good for my video views, but it's true. So I canceled Wall Street Journal today, and I told them exactly why. I was just sick of the bias in their reporting, and I was done with it. And quite frankly, that's not just it. They're just completely I notice I can read this page for free. I can at least look and see what the Dow is and the headlines are. I can't read them, but you know what? Most of the time they're not worth reading lately anyway. The reporting has got so bad. So I'm sad, and on the other hand, I just saved myself $500. So why don't you put in the comments what I can do with that $500? That would be fun. Please, one comment out there if you made it this far into the video. Hey, I was going to tell you the one thing that I did learn in 2008, and this young girl learned, and just like that, little Susie cured the worst virus of all. Turn that fucking television set off, and you can probably say the same thing about the computer to some degree. At least go out and diversify who you're watching and reading, and whatever corporate media or corporate online stuff says, take it with a grain of salt. Make your own decision. Fact check stuff yourself. Don't let them fact check for you. That's just my opinion. But I love this meme right here, and just like that, and that was me in 2008. I just smashed the television set, never watched it again, and that's the truth. Anyways, I think that's really about it. Man, I went off on a couple tangents, and again, as I said, with precious metals, I think gold and silver and precious metals will be about the same or up today. You know what? And when you see these downs, it's a good opportunity to buy. So buy when you see the downs. And unless you had to sell, don't panic and don't worry when you see it go down quite a bit like that. It's an opportunity to buy. We are in I believe, a medium or long-term bull market right now. I think we've got a good few years on this gold market that we're going to see slow boil and get up to a really heavy boil and then probably boil over. And that's what I call the bubble. And gold and silver will get a bubble at some point. But anyways, relax. We haven't even come close to that point. Hang on to your precious metals, folks, and you'll do fine. Anyway, I want to tell you the deal of the day still is Krugerrands and still is Constitutional Silver, 90% U.S. silver coins. Those are the still best, most widely available products in the entire country. So if you're looking for a good deal on a recognizable product, 90% U.S. silver coin made by the U.S. Mint, and South African Krugerrands, best deals out there still. Anyways, this is Brian Kuzmar getting ready to have himself a nice long weekend, and I'm going to go out Sunday fishing on my boat. I've been out in a little while because of all the storms, so I'll let you know how that goes. Maybe I'll take a picture of the big fish I caught, I hope. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins at 954-493-8811. Got any questions about gold, silver, platinum that you need answered? We buy, sell, and appraise all this stuff. Happy to help you out and give you the best advice we can. And remember, we only deal locally, but if you need advice, and someone did come in and ask us for advice today on where a good place in Georgia was, and I think I might have some information for that gentleman. He's supposed to call me back on Monday because I know his son lives up there, and he said his son needs to find a good dealer up in Augusta, Georgia, but I think I found you one, sir, so I'll talk to you on Monday. And I know you watch my video. Thanks for watching, and thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you first time here, and appreciate it. Have yourself a great weekend. Talk to you soon.